Hey everybody, it's Michael from Wahoo Comics here with another haul and speculation video, and today I have a book that I'm really excited about. So some of you might remember a few weeks ago I found someone who was selling a bunch of Star Wars books, and I was able to pick up issues 40, 41, and 43 from the original comic series, which contained the first appearances of the Rogue Squadron, Yoda, and Lando. So some super cool books that I was really excited to add to my collection. But he was missing issue 42, which contains the first appearance of Boba Fett, who of course is an iconic character in Star Wars lore, and like many people, one of my favorite characters. And so I was a little disappointed to miss out on that issue. But thankfully, recently I found another person who was selling off some Star Wars books. And first of all, I picked up more copies of 40, 41, and 43. But more importantly, I finally was able to get a copy of issue 42, which again contains the first appearance of Boba Fett. And so I'm so happy to finally be able to add this to my collection. It's been number one on my Star Wars wish list for quite a while now, ever since earlier getting issues 1 and 2 of this series. And so I am so happy to now have this. Of course, as many of you know, Boba is going to get his own TV show on Disney Plus that's going to debut next month, and I expect that only to increase his popularity in the culture, and I'm really excited about it, and I'm really excited about now having this book. And in addition to the first appearance of Boba Fett, it also contains the first appearances of some other of the bounty hunters like Dengar, Bosk, IG-88, and Zuckuss. And a lot of people think there are going to be other bounty hunters in that show, and so this book has a lot of value because of Boba Fett, but also because of those other bounty hunters. And I am, again, super happy to now have my own copy. But not only did he have the number 1 issue on my Star Wars wish list, but he also had the number 2 issue, Star Wars 68, which contains the first mention of the Mandalorians, and the first Finn Shasa, I'm not sure how you say the character's name, I think that's it, who some people think this is Boba Fett, but it's actually Finn Shasa on the cover, but it's this iconic Mandalorian cover, and I've been wanting to get my hands on one, and so super happy that I got this one. And I picked up actually a bunch of Star Wars books from him, and most of them were just kind of run fillers, so he sold them to me for about $1 or $2 each, but these were the two that I was especially stoked to get and add to my collection. But he had not only Star Wars books for sale, but he had many others, and too many again to show you today. But I love Spider-Man, and I was able to pick up from him a copy of Amazing Spider-Man 124, which contains the first appearance of the Man-Wolf, another super cool character, and a character that I think is worth investing in and has a lot of long-term potential. I think eventually he'll make his way to the MCU. I don't know if it'll be anytime soon, but eventually he will, I think. And some people think it could be sooner rather than later, especially because Tyrese Gibson has been cast as Agent Shroud in the upcoming Morbius movie. And in the comic books, Agent Shroud spends some time chasing down Man-Wolf, and Tyrese Gibson is signed on for 3 movies. And so some people think, well, maybe in the second or third movie, you might have him with Man-Wolf. And so I think it's a good long-term play. Spider-Man books in general are just safe to invest in as long as you don't way overpay. These books will only go up. It's obviously a super popular character, just like Batman. They're as safe as an investment as you can get if it comes to comic books. And not only did I get 124, but I also got number 125, which of course is the second appearance of Man-Wolf and also contains his origin. And one other Spider-Man book I got from him was number 209. And this contains the first appearance of a character called Calypso, who serves as a love interest to Kraven. Now, we do know that there is a Kraven movie that's in the works, and whenever you hear about a movie of a certain character, especially a male lead, something you should start thinking about is, well, who will be the female lead in that movie? Because of course they're going to have some kind of love interest in whatever movie that there is. And so a lot of people think, well, maybe it'll be Calypso because that's who it was in the comics. Just like Carnage has Shriek, Kraven has Calypso. And so this book has been picking up some steam and interest, and I'm happy to get my hands on my own copy now. And again, feel Spider-Man books are pretty safe to be picking up. And one other book that I'm especially excited about that I got from that particular seller is this one, Iron Man number 219, which contains the first appearance of the Ghost, which is a villain that I just really love. I first read some stories with him in the Thunderbolt series, and I just thought he was such a fun, entertaining character because, of course, he can go through walls. And so he's just kind of this creepy character that freaks everybody out, and I think it's just really funny. I think it's a really affordable book. As you probably know, there was a gender-swapped version of this character that was the villain of the Ant-Man and Wasp. And so this book spiked, but it settled back down. But you can probably find it for a good copy for $20 or less. I got this one for about $10. And to have a first appearance of a main villain in an MCU movie, I think it is pretty cool. And I think there is some potential that this book could spike again, because there are lots of rumors that there is going to be a Thunderbolts movie or Thunderbolts series. And if you know who the Thunderbolts are, they're a bunch of reformed villains. And so, the question goes, well, which villains will be part of that Thunderbolts team if that happens? And since Ghost was a part of the team in the comics, maybe he would be a part of that team in the MCU. I don't know, but regardless of whether or not that happens, I'm just happy to own it because I love the character. I picked up a lot of other books from that seller, but these are the ones that I'm most excited about. And that brings me to my sleeper of the week. And actually, I had to change this at the last moment. I had a sleeper that I'm going to have to save for another time because at Disney Plus Day yesterday, if you saw any of the reveals, one of the biggest reveals, in my opinion, was that they revealed that they're making a new X-Men animated series that's a sequel to the X-Men animated series that I grew up on. And so my sleeper of the week is X-Men Adventures #1, which is the first issue that's kind of based on that animated series. And ever since that announcement, if you check on eBay, it's just been a day, but these copies are going for like $20, $25. I don't know if it just spiked because of the announcement and it's going to stay up there, or if it's going to come down. But it's still a really cool book to get. I think it probably spiked and might settle, but then it'll go back up. That's my guess. So it's my sleeper. And it's a book that I'm personally excited about just because it contains a lot of nostalgia for me, since I did grow up on this series. And actually, the reason I got back into comic book collecting this year is because I started watching this series along with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends on Disney Plus with my own kids. So as we started watching these series that I grew up on, I started remembering how much I love these characters and started investing in comics again. And this time, having some money where I could actually pick up some really cool books for the first time. But this is probably a book you can find in back issue bins pretty cheap. And I think it's a good one to spec on, especially now because of that Disney Plus series. And speaking of Disney Plus, that brings me to my question of the week. So if you saw the announcements, I want to know what you are most excited about. So I am most excited about the X-Men 97 animated series, which is hard for me to believe because they also released a teaser trailer for the Moon Knight TV series, which looked awesome. As you know, I'm a Moon Knight fan, and so I'm really hyped for that series. And so I fully expected that would be the thing that I was most excited about. And so I can't believe that there's something that I was even more excited about. And I think part of it because it was just so unexpected. I don't think anybody expected that there was going to be this reveal. And so it's super cool that the X-Men are coming in an animated form to the, I guess it'll be in the MCU sooner than we expected. And I expect that to also help X-Men books continue to climb in value, including this one. But what were you most excited about? If you didn't see the announcements, Google it and comment below. What was your favorite reveal? Before we wrap up this video, I want to say thank you to all my viewers. Over the last week, I finally crossed 100 subs, which of course, for any new content creator, that's a big goal that they all set. And so I was super happy to reach that mark. So thank you so much for all of you who watch my videos and for all who have subscribed and who have gotten me through that goal. And of course now we're on the march for 200 subscribers. So if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, of course, I would love for you to do so to help this channel continue to grow. I would really appreciate it. And of course, like the video, comment answering the question of the week, or just any other thing that you want to talk about when it comes to comics. And I'd love to have some conversation down below with you. Thanks again, guys, and look forward to the next one.